Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you sim racing fans happen to be joining us here tonight on Stam Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam, and we are coming at you from the virtual Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace, better known as Interlagos, for this 40-minute MultiClass battle featuring GT3s as well as GT4s. We are racing in the morning time within the sim here tonight. The thunderous power and precision of these GT3 drivers up front and that nibble scrappy GT4s just behind. We are set for a race full of traffic management, overtakes, and strategy. We only have about a 12-13 car grid here tonight, but you're not going to want to miss a single thing. Cutting live to virtual trackside coverage as we take a look at our starting grid here tonight, brought to you by the one, the only, the best dirt track race, in the southern United States, Cotton Bowl Speedway. Let's take a look at our starting grid. We're going to have, once again, these two different classes. GT3 drivers will round out there with Daniel Higgins. He'll slap it up there on the pole last second in that qualifying effort. Daniel Parmalee, Adrian Gutierrez, Josh Hunter, Ali Xay. How about Brian Cow? Then we're going to have those GT4s. It'll start with Brian Cow, Amethyst Reese, Warren Johnson, Ethan Holland, Andrew Brown, as well as Lewis Holloway. All right, we still have that competition caution at minute 23 of the race. We will get some wave arounds moving and grooving. Until then, we're going to have some green flag racing, hopefully here from Interlagos. This is a 15-turn circuit, 2.6 miles we're going to work with here. As a matter of fact, you can see our drivers start to roll for what should be just a short pace lap before we get up to speed here in these GT3 as well as GT4 machines. Welcome in here once again to Stam Studio Network. This is going to be quite a fun race to watch here. I appreciate every single one of you joining in for live race coverage, as well as if you are watching this broadcast back. That's Andrew Brown we're actually hopped on board with there. Gonna get a little into that braking zone here, just trying to warm up these tires as well as pressures, as well as these brake temperatures, get everything up into operating conditions here, because this is going to be a race where it's going to get pretty tight here into that treacherous turn 1 and turn 2 at Interlagos. If you are an F1 fan, you know exactly what I mean. It's going to get tight. It is going to get treacherous here in the West Coast Sim Racing League. This is MultiClass every Thursday night. Every Monday night we do have GR86 racing. Right now, we're going to get back up to speed. We'll bring these GT3 machines up to speed. This is two separate classes, so we're going to try and stagger this start as much as we can. Let me know who you have down there in YouTube land below. We're going to have two Daniels rounding out this front row grid. That iRacing safety pace car is just a few meters away from diving into the safety of pit lane. I don't blame him. Few moments away here from green flag racing from Interlagos down here in South America. Daniel Higgins, Daniel Parmalee, how about Adrian Gutierrez, Josh Hunter in that second row, Ali Xay, Brian Cow, Amethyst Reese, Warren Johnson, Ethan Holland, Lewis Holloway, Andrew Brown. Now we're going to work our way up and through the gears on that gas pedal. We are here. We might send it a little too wide into turn 1. We're going to settle it back into 3 wide for this battle in the GT4 spot. Hang on to her, boys. That's contact early. Alrighty, that GT4 spot, we did see we saw some trading, some paints there happen in, once again, that treacherous turn 1 and 2. We'll settle things out here for the battle of the overall as well as GT3 race lead. Already, these drivers getting single file on the racetrack. Here's Daniel Parmalee. He lost a spot on this original opening sector. Don't count out Josh Hunter right now. That Rexy-inspired Porsche number 062. He's going to try and make that inside line work. Doesn't have it yet. We'll hop on board with Josh Hunter. Gets a great run there out of turn 4 and 5. He'll try the inside line once again as he takes that spot. Whoa, that Mercedes of Daniel Parmalee far off the pace there. He gets that grip once again. Does it, Daniel Parmalee, that 64. Now dropped 2 spots since that drop of the green flag. Here comes Ali Xay Andrew right there beside him in another GT3 Mercedes. Then we're right there behind him. Amethyst Reese is going to lead this GT4 battle, and that none other than Aston Martin. She has shown that she has had some pace here, not only within the multi-class series, but as well as this newly formed West Coast Sim Racing, other known as the 86 Challenge Sim League series before this season. Amethyst is showing her pace here earlier on in this race. Well, take a look at this battle ensuing here once again between Daniel Parmalee. He's going to try and get a few spots here after this unfortunate start for the race for him after losing 2 spots. To find some pace here. We're going to look at Andrew Brown. This is a newer driver here that's racing with us tonight. This blue and pink machine is trying to find a little pace here early on. Matter of fact, he has found some pace, gained 1 spot since that race restart. Here we're going to come to lap 2 here. These GT4s, there you see the gravel, the dirt, just about everything rooster tailing off the rear ends of these machines. You run just slightly offline. iRacing simulating just about everything that you can imagine here. We're going to simulate some great racing right now. That was another nice pass for Andrew Brown. He'll take that spot over Lewis Holloway. Here's side-by-side action. Ethan Holland, league owner Warren Johnson is starting to reel in that 502 BMW GT4. Here comes Warren Johnson, that Sprite machine. He'll try that inside line. Doesn't have it there on corner entry. He'll have to size them up here in just about a corner or 2. Battle between Adrian Gutierrez as well as Josh Hunter is starting to heat up, is starting to broil between these 2 drivers. This is once again that Rexy lime green machine. He's going to look down this inside line as we come out of turn 15 here. This is a 2.6 mile track. They're almost getting into the pit entry as Josh Hunter takes that inside line right away from Adrian Gutierrez. Down and around, inside he goes. Order clear for P2 Josh Hunter. Here's another battle starting to heat up as well. Daniel Parmalee as well as Ali Iksay. These 2 Mercedes AMGs are showing some very similar pace here on the racetrack from Interlagos. We'll make our way up and through turn 15 here, heading down to that treacherous turn 1 and 2. Hopping on board with Adrian Gutierrez here, and something that I really am liking with this driver here. There we go. He's able to stay within striking distance, at least within this lap of this P2 driver, Josh Hunter. Josh has now gained 2 spots since that drop of the green flag here, but he is not certainly running away by any means from Adrian Gutierrez. This battle for this final driver interview spot in GT3, it's still right within our hands, just under half a second. Here is another battle. This one's a GT4 for the, what would this be, 5th spot in class. Lewis Holloway is right now starting to play some defense over Ethan Holland, and this battle for the race lead is starting to heat up in GT4. Amethyst Reese has led the first couple of laps. Here we're going to look at a crossover move. Andrew Brown, he's going to try the outside line, a negative camber corner, excuse me, here. He is having the grip so far in this Mercedes GT4. He's down and around that outside line, trying to show a little bit of drive off the exit here. We're still side by side. Look at the room left between these drivers. This is West Coast Sim Racing. You can't get much better than it. The speed, the racecraft, the skill of every single one of these drivers. Look at this. Amethyst Reese still trying to play some defense for this P2 spot. I misspoke earlier. That's his Brian Cow in the lead of GT4. But these drivers battling right now very, very hard for this P2 spot in the GT4 class. Andrew Brown right there with them. We're going to hop on board with Andrew Brown right here and take a look at the right side of your screen. Be able to see some, oh, maybe not. Okay, we'll bring up the track maps once again, but you can listen to these inputs for these drivers. It's none other than complete concentration right now. Speaking of concentration, Amethyst Chica going to lack just a little bit of it there, having to devote her eyes into that rear view mirror here in that Aston Martin GT4. She has P2 solidified for now, but for how long? Andrew Bound is a shark that is smelling some blood in the water at this moment. Even though these 2 drivers are continuing to battle, they are actually closing that gap to the race leader of the GT4 class. No contact there a little bit between Amethyst Reese and Andrew Bound. but these drivers able to keep it smooth and steady, continuing to reel in Brian Cow for that P1 spot in class. Real quick, another battle that is continuing to broil in front of our eyes. Ali Xe finally going to get that spot over Adrian Gutierrez, trying to run away in that GT4 now, but that Porsche we have seen in this newer season with these the GT3 revamp as well as the tire model that iRacing has released. This Porsche, it continues to bring the pace, and this iRacing season is here. Well, not able to have the run off there. As a matter of fact, the Mercedes looking pretty well. That's a Mercedes P3 as well as P5 in that GT3 class. Oof, that's Adrian Gutierrez there running a little wide. He will lose another spot there. That'll be to Daniel Parmalee, another Mercedes. That'll be two AMGs running third and fourth right now for Ali Xe as well as Daniel Parmalee. Back to our battle for P2 in the GT4 class. Andrew Bound is continuing to try and, well, hold off Amethyst Reese. He's made that pass on her, but these drivers still trying to reel in Brian Cow up there. He's got that 2-second gap for that lead over Andrew for that, the lead in GT4 class. Andrew, once again, if you're just now joining us here on STAM Studio Network, well, first of all, welcome in. I really appreciate every single one of you. But Andrew, he's a newer driver here within this West Coast Sim Racing League series. We got the multi-class racing here tonight, every Thursday night, and every Monday night, GR86 West Coast Sim Racing League. You can't get much better than it here on STAM Studio Network. Speaking of can't get much better than it, league owner here. This battle starting to heat up for what would be P5 in the GT4 class. We will hop on board with Warren Johnson here. He's going to try and send it down the inside into turn one. Side by side, Warren deeper into the brakes. They're able to take away P5 from Lewis Holloway. That is Mercedes on McLaren action. P5, give it to 24 Warren Johnson, as he is now just 3 seconds behind Ethan Holland for that, what would be, let's see, I believe, second to final driver interview spot, and then obviously that final driver interview spot going to Amethyst Reese. Andrew Bound now continuing to run away from Miss Reese here by ever so slight above margins. Brian Cow leading GT4 for the moment, but for how long? That gap is continuing to decrease between these two drivers. Take a look at that lap time on the right side of your screen here, folks. It looks like a Christmas tree, the way that this thing is lit up, both red and green, but that is a lot of green for at least lap 2 and 5 for Andrew Bound compared to our GT4 race leader. Matter of fact, look at this. Brian gets extremely loose there coming out of the turn. It is now just 0.8 of a second that separate these two drivers. Once again, I was just about to say, we're going to hop on board there with Andrew Bound as he will take the GT4 class lead away from Brian. Brian is just struggling with the grip right now, and that's Porsche Cayman number 141 down to P2. Brian will go after he started this race on the pole position for GT4 class. It's unfortunate, but no driver is out of this race by any means as we continue to inch ever so closer to that competition caution. Just about, I believe, 5 minutes time from now, our battle for the race lead in the GT3 class is starting to heat up as well. The XO McLaren GT3 of Daniel Higgins, he is starting to have to play some defense over that Porsche Josh Hunter. Here comes Rexy. Rexy will try and look down the inside this time. This is our highest speed corner of the track. We will take it heading in out of turn 15. Head it down into turn 1 this time. Coming to lap 8. Should be just, I believe, 4 minutes to go until that competition is known. Let me know who you have down there in YouTube land below. This is starting to get good between these two drivers. Josh Hunter deeper onto the brakes, able to take that race lead away from Daniel Higgins. How many times have we seen this race? A pass for the race lead. We just saw it GT4. We just saw it GT3 as well. There's a reason that Interlagos is known as one of the Grand Prix tracks that has the highest number of overtakes. We are starting to look at that. As a matter of fact, starting to see why firsthand here as another battle starts to ensue here. This is into turn one once again here. Adrian Gutierrez as well as Daniel Parmalee. This battle starting to heat up. Alrighty, real quick before we do get that competition caution here, and should be just 3 moments time, I'm going to treat you, come on now, sights and sounds of the racetrack. Go ahead and crank it up. Enjoy these GT3s, GT4s ripping around Interlagos. This is your one chance. Go and crank this puppy back down. 1 minute until the caution flies, and we've actually seen some strategy start to play here. I don't believe that these drivers actually have enough fuel to finish this race, so any driver who did not make their way down and into the pits, I will believe, don't quote me on it, but I will believe we'll have to stop under this caution flag. We continue to inch ever so closer. Right now, our top 3 in GT3 belong to Josh Hunter, Ali Iksay, Daniel Parmalee, as well as the top 3 in GT4 belong to Andrew Bound. Andrew Bound, man, how about this 5.2 second gap, almost a gap as big as the GT3 gap between P1 and P2, but we do have to remember Daniel Higgins pits out of P2 just before pits closed, so we'll should see that driver number 1 McLaren GT3 get out and into the race lead if everything does cycle out around in this competition caution. Speaking of, should be thrown just right about now. All right, all right. First of all, I would like to apologize for the low driver participation here tonight as the competition caution flag does fly. Just, July 4th weekend, or almost weekend. We know that quite a few of our drivers here are just travels or out of town or just popping some fireworks with their buddies. Appreciate every single one of you for racing with us, and of course, hopefully that you have a safe time both tonight and tomorrow night. Be sure that you come and race with us in the Monday night's GRD6 League. We've still got all 10 fingers and toes there. Don't want anything blown off here. Need it for racing. Our top 3 still Josh Hunter, Ali Iksay, Daniel Parmalee, Adrian Gutierrez make that top 4. I don't think we'll have any wave rounds tonight, so we should just be waiting for the pits to open here, and we'll get back to some racing action here in just a few moments' time. thing I need to do here in admin land. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit quiet here, but see if this works. Okay, well, thanks, Google. I was just trying to shave off a little bit of time here for these drivers. They might have to go around one more time. Yeah, open pits, unknown command. Okay, well, that's okay. While we have a little bit of time, once again, I'd just like to thank our sponsors and affiliates who make this all happen. You see them cycling out and around the top right side of your screen. Of course, this is the West Coast Sim Racing League, but we got Cotton Bowl Speedway, the best dirt track racing down there in South Texas. Con Coaching, Zane, if you want to hit him up and just looking for a 10th, looking for a whole second, he will find it. He will find, matter of fact, more than that for you. It's Zane, and one of the best coaches that I know personally, as well as Race to Stop Suicide, something just a little bit closer to me here, but go ahead, seriously, check on those friends and family members around you. I'm not talking a, hey, how's it going? I'm talking a down-to-heart conversation. Genuinely check in on those around you. That's it. Okay, there's the call from Warren Johnson here. Apologies, 1 second here. I'll be right back with you. We were just confirming everything there behind the scenes, making sure everything is good to go, and it looks like it will be. This is what I just mentioned here, guys and gals. Look at this. Daniel Higgins, he will stay out and take over the race lead. He made his pit stop under green flag conditions. This track is obviously long enough that you can make this pit stop happen and not lose a lap. So right now, Josh Hunter, he will lose the lead, but he'll still come out to about the P2 here. Ethan Holland will stay out the GT4 class, so making that strategy work. Here comes Ali Iksay down and out of the pits. That would be, let's see, P3 in the GT3 class. Daniel Parmalee just waiting on some race fuel there, and then that AMG will be able to exit pit lane safely there. Oh, matter of fact, here comes Brian Cow out and nope, that's not Brian, excuse me. That is Adrian Gutierrez out and around. They believe Adrian will at least gain a spot there under this competition caution. Still have Brian Cow, Warren Johnson, Andrew Bown. Andrew, I wonder what's happening here. This is a little bit longer stop, possibly just trying to get some newer tires on this machine, as we have seen that Andrew has the pace here to respectively drive up and through the GT4 class. Warren Johnson is, oh, also, there you see on the invisible air jacks, he will take a what would be, let's see, 11 after this race starts. He'll lose about 2 or 3 spots this strategy here, but he will be on a little bit fresher rubber under that GT4 Mercedes. Alrighty, well, here we go. Warren Johnson has a little bit of track to make up, but he should be there in time before we get to our race restart zone. Once again, every single one of you who have joined in tonight, if you're watching live, let me know down there in the YouTube chats, because we see Code Gold, we see Breakfast, we see D Ghost. Goodness, every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of you. Ego saying technology has come a long way. Totally forgot today was Thursday. Hey, it happens to the best of us. We got Cold Gold saying, hey, Sean, hope all is well, and I appreciate you, and I can't wait for that Overdrive Cup Series season to start up. Warren Johnson, you better hustle that car around here. That iRacing safety pace car should be exiting the track here in just a few moments' time. There's Warren. He's got a couple turns to make up here. I don't think he'll get there in time, as there you're going to see the iRacing safety pace car. I don't blame him. Take that soft left into the pit lane. Here we go, boys and girls. We are back to sim racing action. Daniel Higgins leads Josh Hunter. Here comes Ethan Holland. He's starting P3, but he's in a GT4 class car. Here comes Ali Exade looking down that inside. Here comes some more side-by-side racing action. Not anymore. Daniel Parmalee finds P5 already. That's a spot gain since this race restarts. Battles continuing to heat up as we starting to see the pace differential. We'll look 3 wide down our front straightaway here at Interlagos. Ethan Holland's having to give that spot away to these GT3 running drivers. No, Daniel, no. That's Daniel who runs wide. He'll get in that paint side by side. That's another Mercedes off the racetrack. Looks like no, that's not Ethan Holland. That would be Ali Exay who now runs wide, possibly just trying to give that spot back. Here we go. Battle for the race lead starting to heat up. Daniel Higgins will lose it once again. Josh Hunter down and around the outside. He makes it work. Porsche Rexy 062 GT3 to the race lead. Goodness gracious, what a battle, both within the GT3 as well as GT4 class. Let's go, Rexy, says D Ghost down there in YouTube land. Rexy is showing the pace right now. Looks like Josh, he's going to try and stretch his legs as we crest around to turn number 11. How about Warren Johnson? He, after starting this pack just a few turns back, he is right within this pack of these GT4s. Josh Hunter leads overall. Here comes a nice battle for the GT4 race lead. Ethan Holland, remember, he stayed out this competition caution. He leads the GT4 class, but for how long? Here comes Miss Amethyst Reese. Andrew Bound has worked his way up to P3 in GT4. Even more side-by-side battles happening between these drivers. Looks like door quarter clear for Lewis Holloway. Brian Cow rounding out that P10 spot overall. Here we go. Andrew Bound, he has already worked his way back to P3 in that GT4 class. Here comes Amethyst Reese, Ali Exay. They will be side-by-side. Amethyst giving all the room off exit, and that's Sippy number 37, Aston Martin GT4. As she continues to reel in Ethan Holland for that race lead. You drivers, GT4 drivers, better run, better hide right now, because Andrew Brown is coming with a head of steam, already up to P3, 1.2 seconds back from Amethyst Reese. Not missing anything up there in the GT3 class. Now Josh Hunter stretching his legs. That Porsche is on rails. Now a 2-second gap, now 1.9 over Daniel Higgins. Back into GT4 for the P5 spots here. Brian Cow, Warren Johnson, he is once again on his rear bumper, even after starting 1-2 turns back. Not a problem for Mr. Johnson. He might even size him up here, maybe even look 3 wide. No, he's going to take the outside line. What a move here for the 24. He gets loose there coming out of turn 15, trying to shorten this track here, get as close as he can to that pit entry mark. Still side by side up there in front of him. We might trade some paint. We might bang some side pods here. We're keeping it single file right now for the moment. No, that's going to be Lewis Holloway who runs wide. That Michigan colored McLaren GT4. He will now fall to P11. Warren Johnson takes up P10. Brian Cow P9, which would be P4 in the GT4 class. Here we go once again. Ethan Holland, he's gonna have to play some Super Bowl-esque defense right now over Miss Amethyst Reese. Here she comes. No, Amethyst, you had your time, you had your fun. Here comes Andrew Brown. Door quarter clear for Andrew Brown. Looks like that was the easiest pass of the day right there, as Amethyst had to slow and woe her momentum down. Andrew tries to look down that inside line for Ethan Holland in that GT4 race lead. Doesn't have that nose and centered and enough grip in that AMG to make the turn happen. However, he continues to retain the spots there right behind our GT4 leader, Ethan Holland's back bumper. Here we go. Right now, if you're Ethan Holland, there is nothing you can do but just try and focus your eyes onto the corners, the apexes, the entries at apex. Try and run away from Andrew Brown, but it's going to be hard. That rear view mirror is full of the driver of the 651. Alrighty, you guys have put up with me here long enough. I'm going to treat you here to one more crank it up before we get a little too deep into this race. Speaking of too deep into this race, that was Amethyst Reese deep into the braking zone. She will take that P2 spot away from Andrew Brown at the moment. I know I just said to crank it up here. We're going to have to wait just a moment here. This battle for the GT4 race lead, it is heating up. It is boiling. This is the best battling we have seen all day, all night in the West Coast Sim Racing League. Amethyst Reese, she'll dive it down there once again, goes a little wide. That might even be a slowdown. Ethan Holland back out to the race lead in GT4 class. I said this earlier on here in the race here, guys and gals, but once again, you don't get much better than this. You can't get much more cleaner racing than this right here. We see the speed, the racecraft, as well as the distance left in between these drivers. We have not, we've traded paint once, twice, but not thrice here yet tonight. Ethan Holland back up to that race lead in GT4. Andrew Brown, don't count out this driver. He tries to look down the inside once again. Amethyst Reese has her popcorn bucket out. No, she has her racing gloves out. She's going to send it down the inside of Andrew once again. Ethan is trying to run away from this battle as they continue to get side by side. Now it'll be side by side for the race lead. Heading out of turn 14 and 15. Andrew bound once again to that battle for the GT4 race lead. He will take it away to come into lap 18 of the race. Just about 12 minutes to go. Here comes that outside line momentum. Ethan Holland, that Holland racing machine once again to that race lead. Door quarter clear though for Andrew Brown. He will take it back once again. Goodness gracious, have you ever? I have never. We got windshield wipers on and it's not raining. Take a quick crank it up. There you saw that replay of it on Stam Studio Network. Adrian Gutierrez, as a matter of fact, spinning out. He will drop to P4 for the moment. He's going to have to play in some more defense here because here comes Ali Ekse. That's another AMG driver showing some pace here tonight. Going to Ali Ekse try and makes that outside line work, but matter of fact, going to try and devote a little bit more speed and a little bit more momentum to that exit and stay right on that rear diffuser of Adrian Gutierrez right there up front. How often do we see this? I mean, this is quite frankly just about 3/4 the broadcast here so far that we have just been. Oh no, Brian, no! He will get big loose there out of the corner. Contact with Brian Cow and Ethan Holland. Ethan, that big sniffer BMW will drop to P4 in this whole ordeal. Warren Johnson, where did he go? come from? Where did he go? Go ahead, call him Cotton Eye Joe. Driver of the 24 works his way up to that final driver interview spot in the GT4 class as Ethan Holland had nowhere to go. We'll hop on board with Ethan here as you can see here what looked like a banana peel out of Mario Kart hit the 141 machine. Gets a little bit too much steering input there, and look at this dunk. Definitely, that was enough contact to present damage here, but I believe we do have instant repairs on these machines. Back to this battle for the GT4 P4 spots. The meant-to-be-driven number 9 of Adrian Gutierrez is still continuing to run away from Aliexei after that slight spin just a couple of laps ago. And other than that, that's why we haven't seen really too many replays here tonight. That's kind of been our only incident so far. These drivers keeping it mean, they're keeping it green, as well as on the racetrack there. Still got D-Ghost here. D-Ghost 13, LMAO, man's got hit by a green shell. Dude, I'm saying, that was a total Mario Kart move there that we saw for Adrian Gutierrez. Unfortunately for him, but he will only drop, I think, 1 spot. We got Brandon Birch here, if you're still hanging with us here, Brandon. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hopefully we will see you at least Monday, if not Wednesday night for our Apex Motor Club Sim Racing League. I forget which track we're going to, but it is always a good one there. It's every single Wednesday nights there, about is it 10:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. You don't want to miss that. Still got Bueling here live in YouTube chat. Appreciate you joining in here and talking and chatting it up here in live chats. Every single one of you who makes this happen here, as well as the racers. These drivers putting on a show, coming to just 7 minutes to go. Lap 20 here at Interlagos. The pink and blue machines both showing some pace. As I speak of both showing some pace here, Andrew, he was starting to stretch his legs a little bit here. I thought that we'd start to see Andrew kind of pull away for the race lead in the GT4 class, but kind of haven't seen that yet here. Amethyst Reese is fighting her butt off right now. 37 showing some pace. Will she try this outside line once again? It'll be the preferred braking zone here into the next corner, as we will see Andrew Bound. He will have to play some immaculate defense here. This is going to get good here, as it looks like Andrew Bound and Amethyst Reese. Oh, Amethyst Reese is going to go wide. Move that P2 spot. She will retain. Going to have to size him right back up. Hey, Amethyst, I don't blame the move here. You'd have time to work with. Testing out just to see what you can make work and make stick here. 6 minutes to go. Lap 21 of the race. Oh boy, it is starting to get good. It's starting to get to the nitty, the gritty here tonight from Interlagos. Andrew Bound, Amethyst Reese, Warren Johnson, top 3 in GT4. Josh Hunter leads Daniel Higgins, Daniel Parmalee, that GT3. Top 3 leaders. Daniel Higgins, remember he was working with some strategy calls here before this competition caution came out. He pitted before the pits closed, and everybody got slowed and woed down for that caution. We saw Daniel start on the lead on that race restart. And matter of fact, we'll take a look at it here, and we definitely saw Daniel. He held off Josh Hunter for as long as he could here. But matter of fact, we'll stick on board for the battle here. It didn't take Josh Hunter too long to take speed away from Daniel Higgins. There you see in the background there. No, your eyes do not deceive you. That is a GT3 versus GT4 battle. You can start to see the speed differential here. But speak of speed differential, as we'll hop on board with Josh Hunter. I mean, it's got to be within the deep braking zone here. Check out how much ground Josh Hunter makes up on what was the race leader. Able to just carry a little bit more speed, momentum, and just a slight deeper into the braking zone there. He gained about a car length or 2, and then we'll head back up the hill here. Look at him already on that rear bumper, just about to force Daniel Higgins into that mistake in that McLaren. It took a few more turns than I was initially thinking here. There, that was the mistake. That's all it took for Daniel Higgins. And now, unfortunately, he has dropped now 5 seconds back from the battle. what was that battle up to Josh Hunter for the overall race lead. Back into another nice battle here. Two red machines. That is that meant to be driven number 9 Porsche 911 GT3, as well as Ali Xe Andrew. We are starting to broil, starting to heat up slightly. With just 36 and a half out of that 40 minutes to go. Thank you, every single one of you, once again joining me, Sean Stam, tonight here on Stam Studio Network. Battle for GT4 lead continues to heat up right now. Amethyst Reese, she's going to have a huge slipstream. She's right in that draft. Andrew Bound has 1,900 road course iRating. Amethyst Reese, 1,500. This is a B-class safety rating driver is Andrew. Amethyst Reese is D-class, but she is driving both these drivers, matter of fact, driving like A-class drivers. Here we go tonight. Amethyst Reese is able to get within a car length of Andrew Bound, not close enough to make the move work. She will be on that preferred braking line, and look at Warren Johnson lurking in the distance. Warren Johnson's only down to 1.8 seconds of a gap. Amethyst Reese is going to go a little wide, trying to take that lead away. Andrew Bound will retain it here, but once again, for how long? Andrew, you better start running here, because we don't only have Amethyst Reese, but Warren Johnson, who has now joined this battle. The Sprite 24 Mercedes AMG, he continues to reel these two drivers in, coming to just 2.5 minutes to go. Andrew Bound, Amethyst Reese separated right now by just a second, as Amethyst sent it a little too deep there within, I believe that was turn 6. A real quick look at the replay here. This was side by side. Amethyst just a little too deep into the braking zone there. You see the room left between the 651 and this 37 here. Oh boy, the third time I mentioned it here tonight. There is a reason I mentioned it so much. You can't get much better than West Coast Sim Racing. This is the MultiClass League every Thursday night. Every Monday we come at you live with that Toyota GR86 League. West Coast Sim Racing. Oh, every single time it continues to heat up until just the last couple of laps. Josh Hunter continues to lead GT3. This battle for GT4, it continues. We'll stick on board with it here. Andrew trying to run away from Amethyst Reese. We'll take a look at the lap time differential between the two. Once again, it is a Christmas tree down in that bottom right of your screen. There we see Miss Amethyst Reese, faster lap 19, faster lap 20, and real quick, and if we compare Miss Amethyst Reese to Warren Johnson, that is looking more like St. Patrick's Day compared to Christmas there. Lots of green for Warren Johnson. He continues to reel in these two drivers for that battle for the GT4 race lead. Warren Johnson, he is now within 0.7 of a second of Miss Amethyst Reese. Should be coming to the white flag lap. Andrew Bound trying to run away with this, take away his race win in his first race with us here in the West Coast Sim Racing League. As here it comes, the GT3 race leader on Warren Johnson's back bumper. Blue flags are waving right now for this GT4 front battle for the race lead. I'm sure Josh is giving him here just a little bit of leeway, as he's got a 4-second gap to work with back to Daniel Higgins for that battle for the P2 spot GT3. Warren Johnson's going to go ahead and give him that right away by. It will depend. Will Josh Hunter get across the line here first, or will it be the white flag? It looks like it'll be finish line. He will get right to the checkered flag right when we hit double zeros on the clock. Congratulations, Josh Hunter, and it will be Daniel Higgins coming in P2 in GT3 class. What a finish there in GT4. It'll be Andrew Brown, Amethyst Reese, 0.3 seconds at the line. Warren Johnson, if these drivers had one more lap to work with there, I wouldn't have counted Warren Johnson out of that race lead for GT4. Backing up to GT3 class, Ali Xe will take P4 in the GT4. X3, Adrian Gutierrez will take 5 overall. And once again, congratulations on your race opener here tonight with us, Andrew Brown. Congratulations on your race win in the GT4 class. Amethyst Reese will take P2 just barely. Warren Johnson P3. Brian Cow will take P4 in P4. Lewis Holloway will take P5 out of Haiti, as well as, and then Ethan Holland will take P6. They're out of America, the driver of the 502. What a race, what a finish. Stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. We'll get driver interviews here in just a few moments' time. Alrighty, drivers, if you got yourself a copy, be sure that you make your way down and over to the interview room here. Then, hey, go ahead, both GT3 as well as GT4 top 3. I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Speaking of those top 3 and overall results, Josh Hunter, Daniel Higgins, Daniel Parmalee to Daniel 2nd and 3rd, Ali Xay, Adrian, Andrew Amethyst, Warren Johnson, Brian Cowell, Ethan Holland, that top 10 overall. Once again, top 3 belong to Andrew Amethyst Warren, that GT4 class. Rounding out the rest of the field here, it would be Lewis Holloway, that P11 spots. Hopefully everybody's having a great 4th of July celebration here tonight. I know we got one more night till some fireworks, but everybody be safe. I know that's why we only had 11 drivers here tonight, but congratulations once again, and we'll get to those interviews here in 1 moment's time. Alrighty, we'll start with the driver, the man of the hour, if he is. Yeah, Josh Hunter, you got yourself a copy, man. Josh Hunter, you there, man? Alrighty, we'll get back to him here. P2 driver Daniel Higgins. Daniel, how about it? You got yourself a copy.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, alrighty. Whew, thankfully, okay. That tells me it's not on my end there, but Daniel, okay. Congratulations on your P2 finish here tonight. We saw you try and play some strategy there before that competition caution flag flew. How did that work there on that the second race start?
It worked out great. You know, I got started first on the restart, which is the best I could ask for. I wasn't sure where I was going to come out. And just Hunter was just too fast. And, I knew it was going to be tough. He's always fast, and I had to be perfect. And I made one mistake, and he capitalized real quick, and then he was off and running. I couldn't catch him, but I just wish I put up better fight. It might have got interesting with the lap cars at the end, but just too much. And congrats to him for first, and congrats to Parmalee for third.
Josh, that's I was about to mention both of those things to you there, starting with just going a little bit too deep there, and I think that was either 5 or 6. I don't know. My turn numbers they're dialed up here tonight, but like you said, that's all it took.
Yeah.
For Josh.
I took tires. Sorry, I took tires, and I thought, change something up and try and win that way. Maybe it would help, but wasn't really that big of a difference. So.
With that, the lap traffic there, like you mentioned, that was just right on cue as we were getting to that the checkered flag. If that was 10 seconds that separated Josh Hunter, if he was 10 seconds slower, we would have got one more lap. And I think I'm right there with you, Daniel. That would have got pretty crazy.
Yeah, I saw the 3 or 4 of them in front of him. I said, "Oh, here's my last chance to make a run," and I think I cut it down to 3 seconds or something, but that's about where it was the whole time. Got up to 5, but I would have just had to gone through then too, but it's all good.
Well, Daniel, real quick before we cut to Daniel, is there anybody who you'd like to thank or makes this all possible for you, man?
The one and only Sean Stam, Warren Johnson,
thank you,
and everybody else racing here.
Hey, real quick, D Ghost 13 is down here in YouTube land. He says, "Daniel, sign my keyboard."
D Ghost 13.
Yeah.
You might have been talking about the other Daniel. I'm not sure. I might have a fan. I don't know. I don't think I have any fans.
You might have one.
Well, I will sign it.
You'll get two Daniel signatures there on a keyboard. Congrats once again, Daniel. We'll let you get going here, and congrats on your P2.
Thank you.
Alrighty, the other Daniel, Mr. Parmalee this time around, AMG 64, bringing home P3 in the GT3 class.
Hey, Sean.
Hey Daniel, man, walk us through your race here tonight. How was it? How was it with that competition caution, as well as that race restart after the competition caution?
Pleasantly surprised because I had almost no practice tonight and I only got a single qualifying lap. So just kept my head down and tried to drive clean laps, no collisions, no off tracks, and I guess it paid off.
Goodness, it definitely did here tonight, Daniel. That's pretty impressive here. First time out here at Interlagos, or with little to no practice, bringing home P3. That race restart, it was I thought, interesting because we had, the separate classes that were up there with one another. You had to contest with that different speed, or the speed differential of the GT3 versus GT4.
Yeah, we banged fenders a little bit, but everyone played nice, made it through, and then just needed to get it home.
Speaking of bringing it home, Daniel, you did just that. Who are we shouting out? Who makes this all possible for you here tonight?
Oh, always want to thank the fellow drivers for a good time, and then give a shout out to Scott Adams Driver Development for all his coaching and support.
Hey, I appreciate that, Daniel, and shout out there, Scott. Goes a long way finding a 10th here and there, and man, congrats once again on that podium finish here tonight, Daniel.
Thanks, Sean.
Real quick, before we get down into the GT4 drivers, real quick, Josh Hunter, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty, sweet. Woo. Man, oh man, that Porsche Rexy was on some rails here tonight. We saw you make that clean a pass, not only once, but twice, maybe even thrice there around Mr. Daniel Higgins. Walk us through it, man. What was it like?
Car felt good. I was a little surprised since new tire model update. The Porsche felt a little bit loose and weird turns, but made it work and just stay out of trouble and just try to keep it clean with everyone else, and eventually worked out.
Well, Josh, I'm right there with you, man. I've ran quite a few official races since they just completely murdered the tire model, or everything with the GT3s, but yeah, you look like you didn't really have that twitchiness to the car here tonight. The car was looking pretty planted on the track, and that's something that we really haven't seen so far this season in the GT3 class.
Yeah, the car works good in the low-speed hairpins on this track, so I think that worked out for me also.
Dude, Josh, right as you say that, we're watching it right here on the broadcast, the pass that ultimately brought you that race win. What was going through your minds there as you saw Daniel run just the slightest bit wide?
Just wanted to keep it clean, that's all. Didn't want to wreck him or have anything stupid happen to me also, so glad we both made it out of there alive.
Well said there, Josh. Who we thanking? Who makes it all possible for you, man?
Just the usual, you and Warren and everyone else that joins these races, makes it a fun time.
I appreciate that, Josh. That goes a long, long ways. Have a great rest of your night, and you can celebrate a little bit too hard.
Hell yeah, thank you, too.
Alrighty, we'll round out the GT3 driver interviews here. Bring it to Miss Amethyst Reese, I believe.
No, that'd be me.
Excuse me. Yeah, there we go. Andrew Bound, Amethyst Reese, and Warren Johnson, that top three. Andrew, you got yourself a copy.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the late join tonight, gentlemen.
Oh man, matter of fact, it was kind of you that made this broadcast happen here. We're gonna cut it off at like 10 drivers and last moments here. Andrew, you came out here on the track, showed these GT4 drivers how it was done. Oh man, welcome into West Coast Sim Racing, and what's going through the minds right now coming off with
happy to be here. I gotta figure out, something went wrong during the pit stop. I don't know what happened, because I went into the pits in pole position. I came out in I think last place out of the pits.
You have your tires checked?
I don't know, honestly. I'm not too experienced with iRacing. Like, I've done, plenty of races, but never with anything messing with the pit stop stuff. So I just rolled into the pits and let it do its thing. And I sat there for what felt like forever, and I come out of the pits thinking I'm in P3, but I think we'd have to go back and look at the race, but I think I came out of the pits like P6 or P7. So I had to climb my way back up to the top twice.
Goodness, Andrew, we saw it happen. We saw the pace that you displayed, and you didn't only make passes happen, but you made them happen very, very cleanly. Who would you like to shout out to? Makes this all possible for you here tonight?
Shout out to Warren. Thanks for talking to me late last night. Just had a lot of questions from him over how the league works and introductions, the race types, and all that fun stuff. So thanks for answering my messages, and squeezing me in here. 'Cause I didn't even get to do a practice lap. I just jumped in cold. Just happy to be here.
Goodness.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, Andrew, I will apologize here. There's so much going on here behind the scenes, and about the first couple of minutes of the broadcast, I was saying Andrew Brown, but I did finally get it
It's all
down to
good.
Andrew Brown. Am I saying that right too? I just want to double
You
check.
actually are, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, Mr. Brown, congratulations on your first race win with us here tonight. I have a feeling it's not going to be the last.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night.
You do the same there. Miss Amethyst Reese, how about it? You got yourself a copy.
Hello.
All righty, holy battling here tonight. Holy clean, holy competitive battling. Walk us
It
through
was a race.
Yeah, no kidding. That Sippy 37 had some pace here.
Yeah, it definitely had more pace in the second half. The first half, it was it did not feel anywhere near as good as it did during practice. In practice, I set the fastest lap of the GT4s, and it was doing great. And then we get to the race, and it was just like I couldn't make the braking zones or anything. So at one point, I was just like, I just went for the pits early to get gas and just hope that I was able to catch and ideally overtake everybody at the caution. It mostly worked out, except Ethan didn't pit, so then that held me up and definitely gave room for Andrew to catch back up. But man, that was some excellent battling, and it was really crazy pushing back and forth. That one turn coming down the back stretch, I still just can't nail that braking zone, and so it kept us in a back and forth. And then eventually it got to the point where the tires were just destroyed, and I saw Warren looming in the mirror, and I was like, well, I just gotta get it home.
Man, speaking of Warren, I'd like to bring him here. This will kind of be a P2 and P3, I guess, kind of combo interview. Warren, you were starting to really approach that battle, and Amethyst, you were just referencing it there. It's hard to miss a big old white and green machine looming in that rearview mirror.
Yeah, I was catching up. I took tires intentionally on the pit stop. I was gonna call you and say, "Yo, you made it go. You made it the green flag go one too early," because the last cars didn't catch up enough.
Oh,
And then, but it's okay. It worked out for a P3, but I was definitely catching up because of those fresh tires, and so it would have worked a little better probably if I was with the pack. But that's okay. P3 is cool, even though there's not that many people today. Again. Yeah, well, I'll let you continue the interview with Amethyst. You can finish her interview.
Yeah, Amethyst, real quick, who we shouting out tonight? Who makes it all happen for you?
I definitely want to thank Andrew and other drivers for all the clean racing tonight. Excellent, respectful, tons of fun. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Warren, for making this happen, and thanks to all the viewers.
Thank you, Amethyst. Have a great rest of your night, and happy early 4th.
Thank you. You too.
All right, there, Warren. We kind of started the interview there. Yeah, apologies. That was right on the cusp, and I saw you hauling the mail there, trying to get back to the back of the pack. Apologies, but like you said, it'll kind of work here in the grand scheme of things. What was the track conditions like here from Interlagos?
It was good. I like this track. I'd actually never done a race here. I'd only done hot lapping here. To my knowledge, I don't remember ever racing here, and it's a pretty fun track to do laps around. And it's world famous Interlagos. I mean, who doesn't know this track if you watch F1? But it's a great track. I think the conditions were perfect. There was a couple towards the end of the first stint was like a little understeery, and then when I got the new tires, I started lighting them up, and it was really, really good. It felt good after the new tires.
And you were hauling the mail. Definitely, the 24 was on some rails there, coming to the white and checkered flags. Warren, before we let you get going, everybody in YouTube land, who makes it all possible for you?
I just want to thank all the drivers. They are the ones that make this possible. If we didn't have them, this wouldn't be a league. So I really appreciate that. I want to apologize though, because this race probably should have been postponed a week for the 4th of July stuff, so we get more people in. So sorry about that if you weren't able to make it tonight. Also, thank you to the new driver, Andrew Bown. That's really cool. He got his first win in his first race, and he had really good racing. So I'm looking forward to do more racing with him, and glad to have him. And thanks to you for doing the broadcast. Thank the admins, Robert, Schwankler, and Amethyst. You do a lot of hard work behind the scenes. I want to thank the Apex Motor Club people. You know, they're a great group of guys. If you want to race Miatas, go to their league on Wednesday nights. They rip Miatas around a bunch of different tracks, and it's super fun, and they're great people. So really enjoy them. And yeah, thanks to everyone for watching on the YouTube channel, and you know, can't wait to see you on Monday night.
Alrighty, Warren, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate every single one of you once again that join us here. D Ghost, if you're still around, I saw that the Miatas last night. That was funny. Oh man, what a race that was. D Ghost, if you're still with us, that would be, man, get a little iRacing subscription, get some pedals, a wheel, and would definitely be loving to have you there. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Warren, thank you so much for having me, allowing to broadcast the West Coast Sim Racing League here Monday, Thursday nights. Sincerely, bottom of my heart, every single one of you. Thank you so much. This is Sean Stam up here in the booth, Stam Studio Network. Have a great rest of your night. Take care, everybody.